Welcome to WestJet Air Cargo in Calgary, Alberta. Motorcycle is behind the door where it will be crated for tomorrow's flight to Heathrow. A little disconcerting wheeling the bike in with a bunch of kids who will crate the bike and none of them have ever ridden a motorcycle before. Hopefully none of the tie downs are in weird or challenging places that are going to affect the wiring, but it'll be what it'll be at this point. It's all out of my hands and you gotta let it go. So next up, I just wait for my buddy to show up, give me a ride back to the hotel and finish packing gear. We will probably do a little update from the airport and then again in Heathrow. So wish us luck. All right, through security with only 2 additional random checks on my luggage, but over and done, and now I'm just sitting in the departure lounge waiting till I nest my flight in a couple hours. So all's well that ends well, and I'm going to settle in, watch something on the laptop, and enjoy the chance to walk around a bit before I get on this 8.5-hour flight to London. Hopefully the bike is already on the plane and wasn't loaded in upside down or anything else. I guess we'll find out when we get there. So here goes nothing. Well, I'm here in Heathrow. The plane landed around noon yesterday. And a few hours later I managed to pick up a motorcycle, get it refueled, and get to the hotel. I exploded all my bags yesterday and got everything sorted. I think I was asleep by 8 o'clock last night. Today is my designated downtime. I spent this morning reassembling the saddlebags, putting gear where it's supposed to, and now it's a little after lunch, and I've got about a 2-mile walk to the local grocery store and see if I can pick up a little bit of food, stretch my legs, more airplanes, and relax for the afternoon before I head out tomorrow. Tomorrow's plan is to drive down to Brighton and then west to a little town on the other side of Portsmouth called Leigh-on-Solent, where I have a reservation at the Kingfisher Caravan Park in Campground, and it'll be tenting night number 1 on this 4-month journey. Weather forecast is supposed to be much like this, kind of cloudy, maybe up to 17 in the afternoon. More airplanes. I think I'm only doing 200 kilometers tomorrow, most of it quite leisurely, as I get the feel for driving on the other side of the road. At this point, the only thing that I find particularly challenging are roundabouts, because my instinction is to head in the opposite direction, which I will only do once. And of course, England does love their roundabouts, including some that they'll incorporate up to 5 separate roundabouts into one giant roundabout. So, at any rate, walking along here to the superstore, stretching my legs for the first time in a couple of days, getting a little bit of exercise. I did my workout this morning. and we'll see what we can see. So, my first 24 hours in England so far is a success. Welcome to Lea-on-Solent in the easternmost southwest corner of the UK. I drove down here from Heathrow with a stop in Guildford for camping fuel, since can't bring any on the plane, and in a stop in Brighton, where one of my favorite films, Quadrophenia, was filmed. Saw a couple of locations and then carried on here for the night at the Kingfisher Caravan Lodge. Tomorrow I'll be heading along the coast westward to Bigbury-on-Sea for a very rural campsite in some farmer's field, but allegedly with some gorgeous views if the weather holds out. And then the night after that, I am off to Penzance, to the youth hostel, which is 75 outrageous pounds for the night, which is absolutely ridiculous for a youth hostel, but welcome to England. So yes, the tent is set up, my Redvers Solo, and it's supposed to drop to 10 degrees Celsius tonight, so I suspect I'll be breaking out the long underwear and then get on the road in the morning. I'll have dinner at the pub here. I checked out their menu and prices are actually pretty reasonable. And just saves me the hassle of cooking, and I'll save the food for that I've bought for tomorrow night, where pickings will definitely be slim. We'll see what the youth hostel has to offer for food when I get there. But I can't be eating in restaurants all the time, because that just gets way too expensive, especially at this 2-to-1 exchange rate on the Canadian dollar. But the ride was good. Way too many traffic circles. Holy God, England loves their traffic circles. Holy, like they're on highways. Like, why? Don't you people know what an overpass is? At any rate, yes, between that and the traffic, I would have been here a little sooner, but England is very crowded, and people don't go anywhere quickly. although they seem to think that they can if they floor it constantly. But I'm here to enjoy myself, so look at me, sitting in my chair. I got my little bag of potato chips, ready salted, whatever the hell that means, and a quick review of tomorrow's route. And that's it. I plan these short days, so I'm forced to do literally nothing, and not get into the gotta make miles mentality that has plagued so many of my previous trips. I'm here to relax, and by God, I'm going to relax if it fucking kills me. So, we'll talk to you later. Welcome to St. Michael's Mount. I left Plymouth this morning around 20 after 8. Headed up to Land's End, checked into the youth hostel, dumped my gear so I could free up the bag and free up the bike. And now I've headed out to catch a couple of the local sites, which have been on my bucket list for a long, long time. Starting with St. Michael's Mount behind me, and which is the twin to Mont Saint-Michel in France, which I was at in April of 2007, and it absolutely blew me away. So, in preparation for this trip, folks have asked me if I've been getting excited, and I've told them that I would have a holy shit moment at some point along the trip, and frankly, coming over the rise and seeing that was it. So it's finally sunk in that I'm officially in England, even though it's been 3 days now. So in any event, I'm going to do some walking around and stretch my legs, and I can't get back to youth hostel till 5, so we've got about 6-ish, 5.5, 6 hours to kill. But there's plenty to see and do, and I'm going to get to strolling. So you're coming along for the walk. That's Penzance over there, and then Land's End and the youth hostel is way the hell over the rise, inside of the ocean on the other side of this whole peninsula.